everyone, welcome back to another episode of So You Think You Want to Coach. It's been a long time. I told you last year that when I got into the season, I didn't know what it was going to look like, and it looked like totally nothing. I did nothing, and I apologize for that, especially, I picked up some subscribers, and so I feel like I kind of left you hanging, and I apologize. My goal this year is to be more diligent, to get something out every week at the very least. Like, that's my thing. I want to keep these short. But again, I want to pass out advice, and hopefully it's someone out there that they can come across and they appreciate it. So that's the goal. That's the hope. Be a little bit more diligent and get these things done and just pass out information. Remember, you can I love it if you would like the videos. If you really like the content, subscribe, share it with other people, have them subscribe as well. But today with So You Think You Want to Coach, the focus is going to be on being intentional about spending time with your family. It's huge. If you're in this, even from a volunteer standpoint, it's going to be a lot of time and energy and effort. If you are getting paid to do it, time, energy, effort, and a lot of times it's time that you have to be there. If you're not a head coach, you're on someone else's time. So I think it's very, very important. You don't want to lose your family because of this. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think, really, I don't think any job is worth it. But this one can slowly, because you're so passionate about it, you're doing it a lot of times. Like, I love my job. And so me doing this job, like, I don't necessarily feel like I'm working, right? It's rare that I feel that way. Like, I just enjoy it. I enjoy everything about it. I enjoy going in. I enjoy practice. And so, but you can kind of get wrapped up in it so much so that you don't realize how much time you're putting in. And again, the time you're doing that, a lot of times it's time away from your family. Now, I did have a coach to tell me in the past, as much as you can involve your family, like, you want to do that. But maybe your family don't want to be in the gym all the time, right? Maybe your children aren't ball is life. Maybe your spouse, they're not, ball is life. And so you got to be able to make time for them. Whether, again, if you're doing it on a volunteer basis or you're getting paid to do it, you got to make time for them. Be intentional about it. One thing I think about the Mamba mentality, right? And one reason Kobe started taking a helicopter is because he missed something. He missed. I want to say it was his daughter's dance recital or something like that, and so he started taking the helicopter so that to lessen the chances of him missing things and to maximize his time. And so I just think of, like, even with his passing, I'm like, okay, I need, we're not, the Bible says life is but a vapor, right? And so we're here for a short amount of time, and I don't want my career to butt heads with my family. I want my career to go well with my family as much as possible. Like, I'm going to work hard, and there are going to be times, there are going to be elements that you just can't get around. I'm a college basketball coach, so during the season, it's just really, really tough. But I can be intentional about doing things. Today we went to the zoo. It's the time of the year where things are a little slower right now. And so what I've learned is during this time of the year and in the off season to really dive in and be intentional, even if it's things that are kind of not my wants or my desires or things that I like. I'm really working hard to, hey, it's what my wife wants to do. It's what the kids want to do. So I'm going to do it because I know there's a time coming up for like 4 months at the very least that my head's going to be down and I'm going to be going to get it. We're going to be traveling and, I'm just not even going to have the chance to be around. So when I can be around, I need to be around. I need to be present. So make sure in the off seasons that you're doing it. Make sure in the preseason time you're taking time for your family. Don't get caught up, making everything about you and about this. Because again, it's something we're passionate about. So we can get wrapped up in it and not even recognize how much time we're spending because we enjoy it, right? Like, you all had a job that you don't like, and it's like, the time can't go fast enough. Like, you feel like, my goodness, like it's taking forever. You're just counting the hours. Whereas when you're doing something like this, where you're coaching, a lot of times people that do it, they like it, they really enjoy it. Time just flies by, and next thing you know, you start putting that ahead of your time with your family. And so I think it's important that you really work hard to do that, because fortunately, and I think this is for all careers, I don't think just coaching, but like careers have come and torn families apart. I remember this coach, hearing him on an interview. He was saying how his child was about to go to college and he wasn't sure if they were prepared, and it was because he just hadn't been around, and it was sad. It was sad. And he gave a lot of credit to his wife, and then he said, that he probably spends more time, talking to people her age, because he's recruiting, than he does, than he did with her. And I thought that was sad, and I understand we got to provide for our families and things like that. But my goal is like, for me, I feel like I have to know. I have to know if my children are ready before they leave. And so, yeah, and this is not me judging that particular coach at all. I'm just saying, if balance is important to you, then you got to be intentional about it. Really, anything you want to do well, you got to be intentional about it. But if the balance thing is important to you, you have to, because you can get wrapped up in this, because we love it, man. Every time I'm at the house, like acting like I'm dribbling the basketball. And every time I'm around one, I feel like I got to shoot it, I got to touch it, I got to dribble it or something like that. Like I enjoy coaching. I enjoy, the lessons that I get to teach, help my student athletes learn and things like that. But it can be a lot, and it can be a lot for your spouse, and it can be a lot for your family, because you're going a lot. And so when you're around, be present and do things that you might not necessarily want to do. And a lot of times I found, even just, during the season, dropping my daughter off to school and making time to say, you know what, I'm going to go into the office a little bit later today so that I can take my child to school. It's crazy. It seems like a small thing. It doesn't seem like a major thing to me, but it's big to her. I mean, my children label it's daddy drop off day. Like, that's kind of how they label it. And so, so it's important. It's important to them. And again, that might be 5-10 minutes of doing that a couple times out of the week. Where sometimes I want to get into the office and get to work right away, but does it really matter? That time in the office, like, is it going to affect that much? What has more effect? It has more effect for me to brighten my daughter's day, and really for me too. The fact that my time with her means that much has really kind of given me some perspective too. So you think you want to coach? Just keep in mind, if this is something that you want to do, you're going to have to make time for your family, because you got to be intentional about it, because you're going to be passionate about this job, and it can engulf your life. So hope that was good for you. And again, I want to do these things a lot more often. Probably be less production, because I don't have a lot of time, so it won't be a whole bunch of production elements to it. But hopefully, it's just raw, just real conversation. But yeah, thank you for joining me today, and make sure you subscribe. And hopefully, I'll have something back for you soon. All right, have a good one.